From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Tragedy tonight on a highway. One person is dead and several others injured after an early morning single vehicle accident near mile 355 of the Richardson Highway. According to Alaska State Troopers, 21-year-old Matthew York of North Pole, the driver in the accident early this morning, fell asleep at the wheel of a minivan. The van rolled several times in. A male passenger in the vehicle was killed. Troopers say an adult female was medevaced to Anchorage and 3 juveniles were also transported to the hospital to be evaluated. An investigation is continuing.
The person that was declared deceased on scene was still in the vehicle. We did extricate, but it was determined that he did not survive his injuries. The driver was on scene. He was transported by ambulance to Fbx Memorial with unknown injuries. Our first apparatus was from our closest station, which was at on Dennis Road, and they were on scene very quickly, probably within the first 4 minutes from the time of dispatch. So with all of our stations, we have a pretty good response time, and middle of the night, not as congested traffic conditions. After 7 days, the state has rested its case against a North Pole man accused of 27 counts of child sex abuse. Alan Hughes has been on trial after 3 minors told authorities they were sexually abused for years. The state rested its case after testimony regarding electronics confiscated from Hughes's home. Though the prosecution alleged Hughes took sexual photos of at least one of the victims, none of those were recovered. Forensic interviewers from Stevie's Place in Fairbanks testified about why the victims waited to come forward, and friends of Hughes took to the stand in his defense. One of the last people to testify was Hughes himself.
She testified that you had taken pictures of her in that vehicle. Did you ever take pictures of her in that vehicle?
No.
Did you ever take any pictures of her without her clothes on?
No.
The second piece to the allegation that the children had been made to have sexual contact with each other in order to get Game Boys or DS's back.
Is that for disciplinary reasons?
Yes, it was.
You remember what those reasons were?
One time I broke a window on the house.
The defense also rested this afternoon following its final witness, a teen who claims she was also raped, but not by Hughes. She told the jury the juvenile male victim in the case assaulted her, something the defense used as a motive for the 3 to cover their sexual relationships. Closing arguments are scheduled for tomorrow. The Tanana Valley Farmers Market had a break-in early Monday morning. Officials say burglars forced doors open and made off with an ATM, petty cash, and several food stamp-related items. Now, one investigator with Alaska State Troopers says there may be some similarities to the farmers market burglary and another theft involving a laundry business at Two Rivers. Reporter Ryan Grimes files this report.
It was between the hours of 3 in the morning and 5 a.m. Monday that the Tanana Valley Farmers Market was broken into.
I was just disappointed that of all places that someone would come to the farmers market, a place that's made by people, local people, supporting local business.
Unknown suspects booted in the door to the office and the door to the actual market, where they rifled through the office for money and electronics.
The theft of an EBT card reader and other food stamp related items has made it impossible for the farmers market to process customers who use the form of payment.
So the people most affected by this are going to be the folks that are able to use their SNAP benefits at the farmers market will not be able to use them at the farmers market.
Property crimes investigator Andrew Adams with the Fairbanks Police Department says thefts have been rising in the Fairbanks community.
A number of thefts occur every week, whether these are vehicle break-ins, whether it's thefts of items from somebody's front yard, and of course residential and business burglaries.
St. Pierre says he did install 24-hour video surveillance, but this time the cameras were powered down. He was unable to gain any sort of footage of the suspects. Trooper Sapolsky says another ATM theft at Soapy Suds Laundromat located at Two Rivers have similarities.
There are some striking similarities between the incident that occurred at the farmers market with an ATM theft, like the suspect that was involved in the initial scoping out, if you will, of the incident that occurred at Two Rivers.
This is Ryan Grimes reporting from the Tanana Valley Farmers Market.
When we come back, the public is invited to a symposium tomorrow evening on the UAF campus. Discussion will be about energy-saving solutions when natural gas finally comes to the interior.
Also, Friday, homeless veterans and those who are at risk of becoming homeless will have an opportunity to obtain clothing as part of a Fbx Stand Down event. These and other stories when we return.
Welcome back. The Golden Valley Electric Association and UAF School of Business are hosting an interior fuel symposium at 6 tomorrow evening in the Murray Auditorium at the University of Alaska Fairbanks. The discussion will bring together energy producers from across the state to present solutions to some of the area fuel needs, including which to pick for the North Pole facility expansion. Chancellor Brian Rogers will be moderating the event, which will be streamed live online as well. The symposium is open to the public, who will be allowed to ask questions at the end of the forum. GVEA President and CEO Corey Borgeson says the dialogue is meant to inform board members and all who have a stake in the community's energy policies.
We're a member-owned electric cooperative, and so our board members hear from their constituents in the community. And so as they're informed, they'll be making comments, we think, to their board of directors. And there's a lot of listening that goes around in Golden Valley, because we need to hear what our members are thinking, what their concerns are. They're concerned about their home heating costs and how Golden Valley can help with that.
Stand Down is a 2-day event providing supplies and services to homeless veterans or veterans in need. Monty Bowen has details in this week's military report.
The Fairbanks Stand Down is a community-based effort that will take place August 14th and 15th at the Pioneer Park Civic Center. On Friday from noon to 5, there will be gear and clothing issue for homeless veterans or those who are at risk of being homeless.
It's all DoD surplus gear, so everything from sleeping bags to sleeping pads to clothing. Some of the gear is also provided for by the Stand Down Committee through grants that they've gotten through the state.
The Saturday event runs from 7:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. with services and information offered.
We'll have doctors who will be doing essentially physicals and checking for, stuff that you may need to look at in the future. We'll have dentists who are doing inspections of your teeth. And once you get the inspection, you are then eligible for follow-up care to a limited amount. There's whatever money that they have that goes into a pot for that. For eye care, if you go see the optometrist, that opens up the possibility for Stand Down to help you pay for glasses. So it's important that you go on Saturday to get basically your foot in the door for the follow-up care.
There will be service officers there.
So for those veterans who may need services, such as filing for disability through the VA, they'll be able to meet kind of the service officers that can help them get started on that process as well.
Those who show up for the Stand Down will need ID, like a DD-214 or veteran ID card.
Mostly we're just making sure that the services that are being offered are being used by those groups, or that group that is being targeted for, and not being taken advantage of people who don't meet the criteria.
Other services available Saturday will include haircuts, massage, and acupuncture, and information booths on finding housing and employment. This is Bonnie Bowen reporting.
All right, it's time to go out to the Tanana Valley Fair once again with Mike Schultz.
That's right, and tonight Mike will be talking with a retired military leader about a special program that has been developed for veterans. Mike.
Hey guys, you're right. I'm standing here with two pretty good guys here. This is Josh Maduna and this is Kevin Thrasher, and they're with an organization called Fallen Outdoors. Now, you want to just give a little more explanation about what that's all about?
Yeah, what we are is an all-military hunting organization that we take veterans past and present into the outdoors. The cool thing about us is that it doesn't matter if you're wounded or just been in the Army one day. We will take you out, all pro bono to you, and yeah.
It's just a great chance for them to get out and the outdoors and do something they haven't done before.
Absolutely. What we do is we actually take them out to teach them, not just something they can take on with them the rest of their life, not just go out and do it one time, Yeah.
And Kevin, you guys are stationed right now in the Borealis Pavilion, right there in the, I guess the eastern side of the pavilion there on the second row.
Yes, sir.
And you have a really nice setup there. And what do you want folks there to know about?
Just stop by, say hi, show your appreciation. We're selling T-shirts. If you want to buy a T-shirt, that'd be great. I think we've got a pretty much every size there ready to go.
There's an opportunity for people to donate too, and donations have been good, right?
Yes, sir, they have, and we really appreciate it. The Fairbanks community is great about that, and we just love it.
Yeah.
Keep it up. Thank you very much.
And the people that you've taken out already, it's just been a great experience for them, I imagine, right?
Oh yeah, every time. I mean, it's always new for them, new for us, and you know, everybody's had a great time and always will.
Well, thanks a lot, guys, for your service, and thanks for the organization. It's a great thing. We'll be back with weather later on. Back to you guys.
Nice.
Absolutely. Okay, Joe Cook is up next and has news from the Iron Dog race. More money for the winners. That's good news.
That is. Also, we go out to North Pole for another high school football team preview.
Welcome back, Interior Sports fans. Joe Cook here with the local Wednesday Sportscast. How much money would you want for you and a buddy to go from Anchorage to Nome to Fairbanks on a snow machine? $20,000, $50,000? How does $65,000 sound? The Iron Dog increased the payout for the overall winner for the 2016 race from $50K to $65K. Race officials announced the rise in the top prize on Monday. The total purse won't be announced until January, but last year the total purse and prizes for the Iron Dog reached over $250,000, which was a new record. So you and me, hey, let's go get a snow machine to start training, right? The 2016 Iron Dog starts February 20th in Anchorage and ends in downtown Fairbanks. The Fairbanks Ice Dogs need help making the Ice Dogs experience for incoming players one they will remember. The annual kickoff event is the Golf Scramble on August 29th at Fairbanks Golf Course. There are still slots available and registration information is on fairbanksicedogs.com. Training camp starts that Sunday, August 30th, but players still need a place to stay. The Ice Dogs are in need of billet families to help house new players and returners. Billet families will receive monthly stipends as well. Ice Dogs GM Rob Profit has the skinny on how one can become a billet family for the organization.
We're still in need of a couple more billet families. You can get a hold of Kim Stone here at the office, either at 452-2111 or Kim at fairbanksicedogs.com, and she'll give you the scoop on that. And basically, somebody's just opening up their doors for one of our players, just become part of their family. It's a great experience. We've just happened to have 3 or 4 of the families move out of town, whether it be military, job relocation, retirement, etc. So, a couple of those would be we'd be grateful for.
Changes during this hockey offseason haven't only affected the Ice Dogs and the Alaska Nanooks, but there has been some movement on the high school level. This coming from akhockey.com. Monroe's Dylan Steele, West Valley's Ty Profit, will be playing for the California Titans U18 AAA team in the NAPHL. Steele was an all-conference skater for the Rams who led the team to the Greatland State Final. Profit was a key contributor on a West Valley team that made it to the 4A State Final. Also, the Fairbanks twins, the Walter boys, Colton and Jacob, returned for their sophomore years at Wisconsin Eau Claire. And Jake Ayers of North Pole, he will be back with the Salt Lake City Moose of the WSHL. He scored 6 points in 37 games. And in girls hockey, Jade Meyer will be a Northern Cyclone in the NEWJHL next season. For more on interior hockey players making moves, visit this story on the sports page on webcenter11.com. They've been a force in the medium schools division the last couple of seasons. The North Pole Patriots return for another deep run. Here's more on North Pole as we continue our high school football team previews.
The medium school state runner-ups and defending Southeastern Conference champion North Pole Patriots are back on the gridiron for another season. Yes, the Patriots want to get over the so-high hump and win a state title, but head coach Richard Hennard has his program focused on the process it takes to get there.
Our biggest goal is to create an environment where lots of guys can be out and play football. We've got 105 kids out now, and I think our seniors have created an environment where kids can enjoy football and be out here and play hard. That's the biggest check in the box for me every year. I think just enjoying every moment we have on the practice field and the game field is important.
North Pole may have a diamond in the rough in John Oddie Robinson. He played for Lathrop a couple years ago, focused solely on soccer his junior year at North Pole, and now he is in pads for the Patriots. He'll be in the kicking game, of course, and will be a part of a promising secondary.
What we're producing is amazing right now, and I feel like we all want to get better, and it's going to happen. We're gonna shed some set some offenses down, I think.
They'll need that on defense to complement a North Pole offense that was one of the best in the state a season ago, averaging 30 points per game. The dynamic Drew Rogers returns at quarterback, and the skill positions are still stacked, but they can't succeed without the big guys up front. Richard Jason, a senior center, returns as the only lineman with varsity experience, and he will set the tone for a young group of linemen.
I'm going to do what I can to make sure that they have the same thoughts and beliefs that I have to keep this O-line running as it was last year. I mean, we had a wonderful O-line. We kept people out of the pocket. We kept Dew in the pocket, and we didn't have too many sacks last year, so I'm going to make sure to keep it that way.
The Patriots leave Thursday morning towards Ketchikan as they open their season with conference play on the road against the Kings on Friday night. Joe Cook reporting.
And that'll do it for sports tonight. Mike Schultz is up next with your full weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time.